Hello everybody, всем привет. Today I'm going to work on the battle outcome dialog screen, which is after you lose a battle or after you flee from a battle, there's this screen that plays. There's this animation of a hero kind of riding away dejectedly on a horseback. Or if you win, there's this animated screen of these creatures cheering, a very diverse army here cheering. Only one of the Warlock's characters is represented, and everybody else has two. Actually, the Barbarian has three represented, and there's a bunch of dead bodies. It's actually pretty morbid. I've never actually noticed and paid attention to this. Anyway, that's the screen that I want to build at the end of the battles. If you've seen my other videos when battles end, well, that doesn't really happen. And I drop in the let's see, where is it? LoseCombat.bin is these are like these layout files that tell you what is how these images are laid out, how these windows, these dialog windows are laid out. And I had decoded some of this before for certain certain windows, and so I have the AI sort of automatically process this and just look for the XY offsets and the width and the height. And about, I don't know, I have about a 70 or 80% success rate with it pulling out most of the values and laying out the windows pretty well. This is the background win-lose PNG. That's we just went. This is what we're working with here. That's the background BMP file. And I actually just want to pull out my hex editor quick. And let's also pull out the win-lose.bin file. Where is that? Here it is. Well, here's WinCombat, for example. So it has win-lose BMP, WinCombat.bin. I think that's the OK button. And then actually this is probably the OK button down at the bottom. And glorious victory, something it shows. So that's this text here. So there's something going on there, and this is probably specifying these wincmb.icn. Let's have a quick look at that sprite because I think it's this. Yeah. So this is this animated sprite and then the arms and such of those creatures. So this is basically telling us where to find the animation that goes inside that window. Now, if we go back, there's also win-lose B. Okay, that's win-lose border. I don't recall seeing that. And then we also have this other one, lose combat here is just an OK. And then lose walk. So lose walk, I know this is actually not decoded correctly, but this, so there's still a little bit of work to be done on my Heroes of Might and Magic 1 extract script because it's not decoding this correctly. This, I believe, is this horse image, and I think this is probably like the outline of the horse image. That's probably what we're dealing with here. Anyway, we're going to still try and animate that on top of it. We're going to try and animate the win combat on top of it. And let's see, I had LoseCombat.bin. I also need to look at WinCombat.bin and see what, see, there was that. Actually, that's, we actually just looked at that one, I believe. Let's see, where's LoseCombat.bin? Here we go. So yeah, here we have win-lose, a bitter defeat, and then it shows LoseCombat.icn, which is what we had looked up there. And then there's also, by the way, this is an important let's not surrender. One of these is this background. This one. This is this background that kind of scrolls across here. So this scrolls regularly. This is animated, and the background is actually like, yes, this horse is like walking a little bit, but it's actually the background sliding. It's a sliding window is how they animate that in this case. So let's get into the prompt. I want to make the WinCombat screen using WinCombat.png, LoseCombat screen, defeat 0 PNG, and run away from combat screen, flee battle PNG. So these are these 3 files that I uploaded. There's a dialog box that shows up at the end of the battle, showing the results on the screen, centered on the battle screen. The background of this is this win-lose PNG that we looked at. The OK button is some number of pixels up from the bottom of the sprite. I give it a basic, this animation window from WinCombat.bin, base frame 00. Animation frames are frames 1 through 6. The OK button is 7, and the depressed OK button is 8. And then this WinCombat.bin has the layout values if you can decode it. And then I give it the actual text for this win combat screen. Then the flee combat screen, I give it the text there. The cowardly hero name flees from battle, etc. And then I have the text for the lost screen, basically the same. And then there's music that's played. The music stops when OK is click. The win music, play on main battle music channel, channel 1, is heroes 43.82m in the sound directory. The lost runaway music is heroes 44, and 45 is a variant with crowd noise, which I'm guessing is for castle battle victories. Not 100% sure. I haven't implemented castle battles yet. After the OK button is clicked, we exit the battle screen and return to the adventure screen. And actually, this victory or the lost runaway music could also be for like when you lose, or when, well, it could be for different, I'm not sure. I think it could be the, like, you lost the game screen as well. I have to check and see. It's been a while since I've lost a game. But anyway, after the OK button is clicked, we exit the battle screen, we return, and the music should stop then, and the adventure screen music should start up again. And I want to make these windows appear when a hero wins, when a hero loses, or when a hero clicks the flee button on the general options screen in the battle. So goes through, it does a whole bunch of processing. These dialogues are 320 by 458. The first ICN block, it gets this animation window where X is at 16, Y is at 49, and this width is 380 something, I don't know. Anyway, it comes up with these values: 16, 49, 38, 223, and 125. These are the values that it's reading for that sprite. So it goes through, does a lot of analysis, comes up with positions proposed for all of these, and basically adds this dialog box at the end of the battle screen. So again, here's the estimates of about where things should be laid out. We have to continue because this is a really long analysis prompt. Does a lot of this. Have some compiler errors. Some more compiler errors. This weird live experience bug. And let's actually see what the first combat win screen looked like. The animation of the creatures is still bothering me somewhat, but it's just not as high on my to-do list as, well, some of the other things I have to do, so we'll get there. And this is our battle screen. Looks like there's a little too much space here. This isn't quite centered. The animation is working, and you know, the sprites of the casualties are actually looking okay. When we try and click OK, it sort of works, but you also notice that that cursor had switched to the adventure cursor. So, and oh, and it also had swapped the Heroes 44 and Heroes 43 music. It had gotten the you know, I gave it the correct instructions. I double checked, but the loss music and the victory music, the AI just randomly swapped. I have no reason. For no reason. There's no. I can't explain why it did that. I gave it the right instructions and it just got them backwards. So again, you have to test everything that comes out of this. But I manually just went in and updated that, fixed this, and the win-lose BMP was not being loaded somehow, and so I had to figure out why that might be. The Minimon ICN I had given it, but that was the wrong sprite. We needed to load Monsters 32. So the experience was computed correctly. And then I noticed this adventure cursor was leaking into the battle screen. So please take a look. So I think that might have actually been before this build. And so this is actually, I think this was the build that we actually just displayed here. So when the hero runs away, the hero is dismissed, and after the OK is clicked on the battle screen, the hero dismiss function should run for that hero, play the kill fade sign, and when returning back to the adventure screen, the hero should be placed with a new set of default creatures in the castle hero queue so that the player can re-recruit that hero immediately. So let's actually see what happened in this initial build, because I don't remember. Okay, and then we also have this weird music switch bug here. So Barak fled, and he hasn't been dismissed. So we did need to update that. So I don't actually think that build was from that. Battle results, screen flee working. Let's try this one, see what happens here. So we've got Lord Kilburn. And we're gonna run away from these scary rogues. And you can see the animation here has been decoded wrong. It is working, it's like flowing, but this horse thing just isn't right. So okay, that's one thing there. Does he appear recruitable? Yep, he does appear recruitable. We get him back without those creatures. Yeah, that's what happened there. So I think the kill fade sound did play, right? Let's double check quick. Yep, the kill fade sound played. Crag hack is available again. Yep, so that was working correctly. So I think this build comes after the flee dismissal. Yep. So we're still working on. Yeah, so I'm basically specifying inside my hero pool that when your hero runs away, he's unique to your castle at least through the end of that week. Once the new day cycle rolls over and it's a new week, anybody that was in that pool can get reshuffled into the hero pool again. So that's how you can sometimes recruit your opponent's heroes. Like day one is a good day to check for that, because they might have gotten shuffled out of your opponent's recruit, like local queue. That gets reset every week, and you might be able to recruit a nice or powerful hero with some artifacts or spells or experience. So yeah, and I updated the layout manually some, and then I had this battle music was stopping when the battle result screen is being drawn. Sometimes the battle music starts occasionally when the battle results screen is open, and that should not be the case. So let's double check that. So it goes through, there's a deferred music guard. So I think I cleaned that up a little bit. And then I wasn't sure, because it made so many changes, I wasn't sure if it had all my changes in the game main. And then also make sure the terrain music is turned off when the battle music is playing. So basically just checking a lot of the music guards and making sure this was working. And I think we got to the point where it was working, and then I just updated the documentation. So let me see if I had any new builds, but no, I didn't. That final build that you just saw was the working version. So let's just do a quick victory check on this and make sure that this is working. Oops. Just splitting up my dragons a little more so we can win the battle a little faster. Sound effects are pretty minimal for some of these creatures, so I do have to update the animation and sound effect components. This is pretty good. It looks like there might be one sprite that's missing here on the border, but otherwise I'm really happy with how that's looking. Did he get the experience? Yep, he got the experience, so that is looking good.